Amen. Well, welcome, Constable DeForest.
Thank y'all. I appreciate you inviting me.
We appreciate you being willing to come. As in the email, we'll start out with your opening comments, whatever you'd like to share with us that you feel is relevant that we may have missed.
Well, now let me see here. I've been your constable now for the last 11 plus years. I worked for Conroe PD prior to that. Nearly 20 years when I got elected and ran. Took office January 1st, 2001, and actually retired from Conroe PD. So I've been in law enforcement nearly 40 years now. I have nearly 3,000 hours of law enforcement training and education, probably close to 500 hours of civil process training. Was the first graduate of the Constables College at Sam Houston State University. Married to my wife for 37 years, have a daughter and a grandchild. Daughter graduated from Stephen F. Austin, has a degree in interior design and merchandising. I've enjoyed being a constable. I work for the people. When I took office back in 2001, I came into office, we had nothing. I developed this office from the ground up. I had 4 basic principles: professionalism, pride, honesty, and integrity. I believe those 4 principles built my foundation for the office from the ground up to what it is today. I believe in helping people and working for the people. I'm elected by the people. I do not believe in the good old boy system. I am not the good old boy, and I will not hire the good old boy. Everybody that works for me, I hired for a reason, and that was to do a job for me and to do a job for you, the people. I didn't hire them because they were my best friend, because they were somebody else's best friend. I hired them because I felt that they could do a job that I asked them to do. Yep. Yeah. Oh, she's got time limits. Oh. Over the last 11 plus years, we've done a great job. My office staff is one that bends over backwards to help out and work for the people. Anybody that comes in my office, it doesn't matter who you are, if you need help, you get it. My door was open from day one. I had the open door policy when I walked in the door. Anybody that wanted to come talk to the constable, they could. All they had to do is either call me, make an appointment, or just walk in. I've been proud of my office for what they do. Like I said, I have a great staff. They do hard work. They work hard for me. And you're not a great leader unless you have good people to lead you, to lead. And because of what they do, makes my job a lot easier. And I'm proud of them. And so should everybody else that the public is looking down on this office. They should be proud of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, who's got the first question for Constable DeForest?
I have one question, if I ask it and get it out of the way. It's something that I had heard, and I thought to have you comment on it. I don't know if I've got the whole story straight or not, but I understand that one of your officers appeared in court in uniform to testify on a DWI case for an ex-felon while in uniform. That's all I can understand. A person witnessing for anybody, whether he's ex-felon or not, but not in uniform. I was wondering if you'd comment on that.
I'd be happy to. I know exactly what you're talking about. I did not know that at the time that he did this. I found out shortly thereafter when our district attorney, Brett Ligon, called me and informed me what had happened, at which time he was called into the office. He was talked to about it. I was not happy about it. I don't believe that he should have done that. To me, it gave my office a black eye. If he wanted to testify for the defense, being subpoenaed by the defense, I have no problem with that whatsoever. But when he put that uniform on to go in to testify for the defense, I had a big problem with that. I did not like it, didn't condone it, and don't today. And I'm still dealing with it with Brett Ligon. And Brett Ligon and I have talked about it and gone over a number of things about what this deputy has done. And I understand, and I don't blame him for being upset. He is upset with the officer, very much so, and so were we. Like I said, I don't condone what he did, and he was written up for it, and was told not to do it again in any way, shape, or form. If he's going to testify for the defense, he do it in street codes. Like I say, I don't have a problem with somebody testifying for the defense. Everybody deserves their fair time in court, but not in uniform, not representing me or my department.
That answers it, thank you.
I've got a question. So does the county commissioner's office they pay your salary, right? Your department salary?
Well, the county does. The county commissioners, they set my budget.
So who tells, like in Katrina, who's gonna tell the constables and sheriffs we need to do X, Y, Z? Like if we have a natural disaster.
Well, that's up to, I mean, we take care of whatever needs to be taken care of.
Is
They're the ones that okay any overtime pay. I'm the one that authorizes any overtime as far as comp time.
Well, here's where I'm going with my question. My question, basically, in a natural disaster, like in the area, in the county, if we have one of those, like they had in New Orleans, and they basically went and confiscated guns because they felt it was too many guns, it was unsafe, and so they confiscated them. I don't know if that would be a county commissioner's office, but my question is, if you were told, or if you had a decision to make, would you declare a state of emergency or whatever they did and go confiscate the guns?
People's guns?
Yeah.
Well, I think our Constitution gives us the right to bear arms, if I'm not mistaken.
So if the county commissioner said we declare a state of emergency, we want the constables to go do it, you would say yes or no?
I would say no.
Okay.
I'd have to have some kind of reason to confiscate guns. I mean, if we're talking about criminals that have guns on the street, that'd be one thing. Yes, I'd go confiscate those, but to take guns from the general public to be able to protect their homes and property, no, sir, I would not do that.
Okay, thanks.
In addition to your question, does the sheriff's department, I mean, the commission's court have any authority to tell you what to do?
No, sir.
That's what I thought.
Nobody tells me what to do. Again, I work for the people, so I'm
Yeah, I didn't think the commission's court had any authority over you.
Do you or any of your employees get training from FEMA or any federal branches as to disaster preparedness?
Do we get any training? I guess our training in law enforcement comes on a daily basis.
No, do you get either classroom or in-field training from the federal government as how to prepare for natural disasters and your role in that scenario?
Well, we get classroom training, I mean, all the time, whether it comes from the federal government. We're mandated by TCOS to, which I guess was state government, to take certain classes. We have to do that on a yearly basis. And I think every cycle, which is every 2 years, we have a mandatory number of hours we have to take to complete our license that we carry. We have so many hours every 2 years that we have to take. That's mandatory. Then we have certain classes that we have to take that's mandatory on top of that. And some of those are the civil process classes, but actually the federal government coming in and actually teaching us classes, I've never had any of that. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I live in River Plantation, and I'm very appreciative. I see you out there a lot.
Oh, thank you.
And I was wondering how many officers patrol River Plantation?
That is when I first took office, River Plantation came to me and asked me if I would take over the patrol there because Sheriff Guy Williams had pulled all the people out. And I told him, I said, sure, I would, but you're gonna have to give me a few months to get me set up and get my cars equipped and get everything arranged to where we can be out patrolling. I think it took us probably 3 months, and I had a verbal agreement on a handshake between myself and the board that we would take care of River Plantation, and I think we worked like 60 hours a week in there. And on that handshake, I gave him my word that we would take care of the patrol. I went back and I told my officers, I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do, and we have to take care of River Plantation. That's one of the things that we've been involved in since the beginning. And yes, even I patrol out there on the weekends. I usually work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday one week, and Saturday and Sunday is the next, which kind of gives my guys a break. They work at early in the morning during the week, and then in the evening during the week. So.
What are the biggest problems you see in River Plantation?
Well, you know, every place you have problems. Burglaries is probably the main thing, and mostly it's kids going around checking doorknobs on car doors, going in and taking what they can find. Every once in a while we'll have a car that's actually broken into, where somebody's actually broken the window out, or jimmy the lock getting into the car. We have had some home break-ins. We have caught a couple people breaking in homes. We just cleared several burglaries here not too long ago from kids that lived down off of Stonewall Jackins down there toward the end. They had broke into, I don't know, 4 or 5 houses, and we recovered a bunch of stuff with the help of the sheriff's department. So, but I think probably traffic is a problem. We don't have a lot of speeders as far as people doing 40, 45, 50 miles an hour. Those people do get tickets, but we do have some that like to drive to 35, 36. And we try to slow them down, try to keep them. We have a few accidents in River Plantation, not a whole lot. There's a few down there around that curve on River Plantation Drive as you're going past the clubhouse. That's probably one of the biggest areas that we do have accidents. But as far as, River Plantation is a very safe community. I know, my guys go out there and do a great job. I hope I answered your question. Okay. And did I answer your question too, by the way?
Well, I guess my question was, do you get any disaster preparedness training from anybody, whether it's mandated by the state, by the federal government?
And I mean classroom training?
Either classroom or field ops, where you do simulations where you're doing whatever.
And the answer is yes, we do get a lot of classroom training.
Okay, but specifically, I don't really care about how do you arrest people. I'm talking about emergency preparedness.
Well, we all went through actually there were online classes for disaster training. If we do have a disaster, whether it be a flood or whether it be an invasion into Montgomery County, we work very close with the FBI, and of course now that they are releasing a lot more information to local law enforcement agencies from the feds on things that are going on, especially with Al-Qaeda and along those lines.
What groups typically teach those classes that we're
I'm
talking?
sorry?
What groups typically prepare and teach those classes that we're talking about here?
Well, the classes that we took online, they came from, Nikki Kelly is one of the ones that set it up for the county, and all of us had to take, I think there's 5 different classes, and management had to take, I think, 2 above everybody else. And I'm sorry.
So is he an administrator or something, Nick Kelly, or?
Yeah, he's the one that's over everybody in the county,
Okay.
as far as that type of training.
Okay.
So.
Anybody else who has the next question?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If you were short, you keep, in your questionnaire, you mentioned several times you're short a couple of constables. Why would you pick up the additional responsibility of River Plantation if you're short of manpower? Just out of
plantation is something we do extra. It's something it's after hours. It's, doesn't have anything to do with the 40-hour work week. In the report, I say we're short of people. Our civil process is our main function at the office. Civil papers that come into our office have a mandated time onto them, which we have to serve within that allotted time, or we could be sued or held accountable in some way if those aren't taken care of. Because we have so many papers that come through our office, whether it be from the district or the county courts or the JP courts, that's our responsibility. And yet, I have a deputy that takes care of the JP court as far as bailiff. I have a gentleman that works Montgomery Trace subdivision. He's a contract deputy, the one that you were talking about earlier. And I also have a 20-hour gentleman that works the freeway, which is our MAP program. He runs from county line to county line, helping people that are working out on the freeway. I would like to have another man to work with one of my deputies for drug interdiction that I have on the freeway. I have a gentleman that we put through training to do drug interdiction on 45. There's a lot of money and drugs that run up and down 45 all the time that we don't have the connection with to actually get. So if I had another deputy to stick with him, I could do nothing but that. If I had a couple more deputies to bring into the department to work civil process, to help with the civil process, to help with traffic, to help with everything else that goes on as far as, backing other agencies up. We back up Conroe PD on a daily basis. We back up Montgomery County Sheriff's Department on a daily basis. We answer calls for them on a daily basis. That thins my department out. But it's usually during the day when my guys are working at the office, their 40-hour work week there. But there's times that we like I say, we have those civil process papers that come in, and sometimes you can't get them done during the day or in the afternoon, and sometimes they have to work out in the evening, or sometimes they have to work a weekend to get those done. So.
Can I ask?
Well, unfortunately, we have run out of time. I think we have each.
That was for the 2-minute question.
Well, I understand, but it's also 7:15.
Okay. Oh, it's only 15 minutes?
Yes.
I thought it was 20.
No, unfortunately, with the number of candidates running for office this time, we had to shave our normal 20-minute time period down to 15 minutes with all the candidates in. But we very much appreciate you coming in and sharing some of those insights with us. I think we have a better understanding of you and your office now.
Thank you, sir.
And I think most of the people got a chance to ask their questions. I didn't get to ask, but that's okay.
I hope I did answer everybody's questions. I tried to be direct, and again, I want to thank you all for having me. I enjoy coming out and talking to people and visiting with people. And if anybody does ever have any questions that they want to ask me, please feel free to contact me.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.